Welcome back to my channel. I am Letters for Life, where I encourage people through writing handwritten letters of encouragement. Today I'm going to be talking about why I decided to go back to therapy. I was off of therapy for 6 months and I recently just started getting back into it. So if you're interested, please like, share, and subscribe, and let's go ahead and hop into the video. So the number one reason why I started back therapy is because I wanted more introspective views, more introspective thoughts about myself. And so it's so easy when you're not really talking to somebody who's neutral, when you don't have accountability, to get so like into your own mind and forget to use introspective thinking. And therapy allows me to talk to somebody who's neutral, talk to somebody who doesn't know me, talk to somebody who literally just wants the best for me. And I love therapy. I'm a huge advocate for it. I was going to a therapist and I absolutely loved her, but when I deployed and I came back, she was gone. She relocated. And so I was in the process of finding another one, and I finally found somebody who I feel like really helped me and really just knows what I need. And so I definitely recommend therapy to anybody, and it doesn't have to be like you experience something dramatic for you to go to therapy. It could be something minor as like, I just have anxiety about a decision. I have anxiety about my life and where it is, or I want to know more about myself. I want to learn more about how to grow. So that was definitely the number one reason why I chose to go to therapy, is just to learn more about myself, my flaws, what I can work on, what I'm not seeing, and just to get really advice or maybe just a listening ear. I think is definitely important and key to therapy. Number two, the second reason why I chose to go to therapy is because I feel like it's a part of my self-love journey. I am a huge advocate for self-love, self-improvement, for bettering yourself, and for leveling up for females. And one of the huge topics that I love to talk about is self-love, loving yourself and loving how God created you and how he made you. And for me, therapy helps me with that journey. It helps me to better myself and to be aware of things that I may not even be able to see or to even think about. Kind of like with the last point that I mentioned, is helping to grow myself mentally, physically, emotionally, spiritually. It's helping me to seek wisdom from somebody and to really have, a keen ear on a different perspective. The people that you may speak to and that you care about, they may not understand a lot of stuff. They may not have experienced some of the stuff that you have experienced. So talking to them may not be beneficial. I think it helps with mentorship. If you are literally wanting a mentor, if you're wanting somebody to help you, if you're wanting something, from a neutral person, definitely therapy will help you with that, because that person is taking you underneath the wings. And there's some therapists who you may not connect with. So don't be afraid to switch up therapists. Don't be afraid to literally find a therapist that meets all of your needs, or that meet all the criteria that you feel like is important. So if you want somebody who is Christian, if you want somebody who is the same race as you, the same gender as you, the same background as you, don't be afraid to find a person that meets those type of criteria. But if you literally settle for a therapist and they're not helping you, they're not beneficial, they're not feeding where you're going, literally cut it off. Just because they're a therapist and they got the licensure and they went through the steps of becoming a therapist does not mean that they are called to be your therapist and your counselor. So in the sense of, it's a part of your self-love journey, but also use discernment. Make sure that they are helping you and that they're bettering you as a person. Third reason why I decided to go see a therapist is because I have a lot of tough decisions coming up, a lot of new beginnings, a lot of closed doors, a lot of just moving pieces in my life. And so for me, when stuff is like popping off, instead of me reacting, instead of me going with the flow, I'm learning how to just be silent and to be quiet and to really, more importantly, hear from God. But then God may have placed a therapist in your life to help sort through the moving pieces. When you have this going on and that going on and that shut the door and that didn't happen and that worked and that's moving and that's up and that's down, it's just like, your brain is like an overworking mode. So talking to a therapist allows you to, okay, before we try to deal with everything, let's deal with this piece. Okay, so that's dealt with. Okay, let's move on to this piece. Okay, that's dealt with. All right, so I see that piece in the back. Let's move that piece to the front. Okay, let's bring that childhood trauma to the front. Okay, let's build that broken relationship to the front. Let's build all of these pieces that have not been addressed to the front, and let's deal with that. That's the real issue. And so therapy allows you to literally put into focus and put into a straight line what you need to address and what you need to deal with. It causes you to see that, you know what, I'm human, I'm not perfect. And like I said, it doesn't have to necessarily be something traumatic. No matter how minor your issue is, if you need some counseling, if you need some therapy, do not be afraid to sign up for it. I'm telling you, it would definitely help you in the long run, especially if you have big decisions coming up. I'm telling you, your therapist is not going to tell you what to do, but they can put into perspective what's important and what's not important. It's not their job to be the God in your life. It's not their job to be Christ in your life, but it's their job to redirect you back to Christ and to always remind you, yo, you're in charge of your life. You have the capacity to make decisions. Follow your heart, follow what God is telling you to do. And with that, there's nothing that you can't do. And that's literally their job. It's just to coach you through, to help you through those hard times in life, and we all face them. If you need encouragement or you know somebody else who may need encouragement, please write into my foundation, www.lettersforlife.net, where I encourage people through writing handwritten letters of encouragement. As always, I love you, but most importantly though, God loves you. I will see y'all on my next video. Bye. Dream about it, I go get it, that's how I do it. Not in the stars, I'm not lucky, I just